Hey everyone, Daunter here. There are many artists in the Pokemon TCG, and it's my goal to cover as many as I can, so I can help you, the viewer, determine which one of these fantastic artists can hold the spaces of your binders or the slabs in your room. You might find a new favorite card, or a new favorite artist. I'm currently attempting to hit 600 subscribers, so if you enjoy the content, consider subscribing to see more content regarding the artists of the Pokemon TCG. And if there's an artist that you'd like to see reviewed next, let me know in the comments below. Welcome to the Pokemon Artist Review. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Teeziro. Teeziro, I don't know if I want to do this for the whole video. Teeziro? I'm going to go with Teeziro. Or whatever. Teeziro started illustrating cards in the set Chilling Reign, released June 18th, 2021, and has illustrated 73 cards, including any reprints they may have. I feel like Teeziro has really had an incredible run in 2024. Going into 2025, they are also starting their journey nicely as well. Teeziro has this really smooth style that really enhances the Pokemon that they work on in their cards. The criteria for this video will be as follows. Firstly, Teeziro's style. Secondly, Teeziro's personality. And thirdly, Teeziro's trainers. And we also have a little fun fact at the end. For my first point, I want to talk about Teeziro's style, which is heavily featured in each of their cards, seeping deep into all their illustrations. Let me just take an example card like the Meltan from Fusion Strike. What is there to say about this card that's negative? For a Pokemon as simplistic as Meltan is, Teeziro's style makes the Pokemon stand out in an otherwise boring environment, just being some cliffs. Now, I'm not dissing the artwork present in this illustration at all. It's that exact style that makes the simplistic cliffs look so phenomenal. There's this really nice light blue on dark blue shading that highlights where the light is placed on the cliffs, which also applies to the clouds present in the sky as well. The Pokemon itself has this really incredible shading style, where even its outline is affected by the colorful aura that it produces. As you can see, parts of its head thingy are lit up with red energy, which is just awesome to see. Another wonderful highlight of that Teeziro style is seen in the Monkey Dory illustration rare from Shroud of Fable. This card is gorgeous. I mean, ugly looking Pokemon aside, which isn't really Teeziro's fault, this card is gorgeous. That purpley pink light that emanates from the tree lights up the outline of its surroundings, which sheds some purple onto the length of the tree, as we also see the deep purpley blue grass illuminate with purple hues. It really is a sight to behold. The level of detail on not only the Pokemon, but the tree and the foliage is astounding for a Pokemon like this. It's really well and truly impressive. Next, I wanted to mention Teeziro's personality, which is really heavily featured in so many of their cards. In the Dredigan Trainer Gallery from Silver Tempest, we can see the Pokemon itself sleeping, so that's not super interesting, right? Well, there are certainly aspects of the card that make it really captivating. Firstly, we have the trainer, the ace trainer character or whatever, who intently looks at some sort of chart or a map as they lay on their back on the sleeping Pokemon, which almost looks to be wrapping around the trainer, like kind of a croissant shape, which is a true sign of respect. It also gives Dredigan a lot more personality than one would typically expect for a Pokemon like this, as it didn't ever really have any cards previously of it living just a peaceful life, content like this, making this card truly one of a kind. However, this amount of respect and detail isn't only reserved for those special illustrations that they create. We can see that in this Scraggy card from a Japanese battle deck featuring Marnie, this Pokemon cautiously peers out from behind a metal barrel that we see, looking curious but also cautious, which is the perfect personality to give a Pokemon like Scraggy, a scrappy and frightened fighter. I think the way that the grass also looks kind of scales the Pokemon down as well, making it seem a little smaller as well as a little cuter. Finally, I'd like to point out Teeziro's trainers, which have tons of effort poured into them. Let's start simple here. Firstly, we'll talk about the Brock Scout Fuller from Battle Partners. It appears this appearance of Brock is probably more based on the games, as the trainer doesn't seem to bear the appearance of Brock from the anime, and that might just be because of Teeziro's art style. Brock almost feels kinda shrunk compared to what we're used to seeing from the trainer, which I think reminds me of that red and blue style, where characters are kinda small and stumpy, which is a really cool effect that I personally noted about this illustration. Finally, for trainers, I wanted to bring up that Kieran SIR from Twilight Masquerade. This card is really gorgeous. This illustration gives us such a nice look at the Festival of the Masks from the DLC of Scarlet and Violet, which means the artwork is good. Most artworks that reference the games directly are instantly a win for me. But that dark purple works so well to show us the time of day. Kieran just looks so happy. How could you look at this card and not like it? Honestly, the masks in the background mixed with the different characters wearing all kinds of masks is just such an awesome visual. Especially the kid next to Kieran on the left, trying to look menacing from the looks of it with that Pikachu mask. That kind of characterization makes illustrations like this truly special. Something that's absolutely incredible about Teeziro is that in 2024, we received 9 cards split across multiple different sets to connect into one fluid illustration. Pokemon featured in this card include Vibrava, which features the top of a volcano and falling autumn leaves in the background. The Togetic, featuring a cave as well as some wind effects. The Wattrel, featuring this really peaky mountain as well as some clouds and more wind effect. And on the right of the card we see a glacier as well. We have the Torkoal, which showcases the Pokemon standing in front of the volcanic aftermath of the volcano. The Simeon, who stands simply in the middle, with some nice flowers surrounding the Pokemon. The Spheal, which floats above the surface of the water around it, and the glacier extends downwards. The Golbat showcases the Pokemon floating inside of a cave, with some crystals to the right of it. The Dunsparce digs through the ground, caving all around it, showing us the layered ground, with some gems to the left. And finally, we have the Slowpoke, which literally just stupidly swims around. I personally really enjoy that, and I'm really a fan of when they portray Slowpoke like that. I think the fact that there's also some coral around the Pokemon adds some nice colors to the card. Now, let me talk about my top 5 favorite cards from Teeziro. In no particular order, here we go. Firstly, we have the Walking Wake SIR from Temporal Forces. This card is absolutely stunning. The level of detail in this card is astounding. I love the way the Pokemon sort of add some nice verticality to the card, as it stands on top of one of the many branches around it, with a waterfall cascading down on the bottom of the card, which is astounding. No way around it. The way the environment is crafted around the Pokemon makes it feel so ancient and breathtaking, showcasing this sort of prehistoric serenity, which is a really awesome concept. Next, we have the Latios Galarian Gallery from Crown Zenith. This card is truly magnificent. Firstly, the way the camera is positioned in this card gives us a very nice view of the full Pokemon, as it searches around its environment, plowing through the clotheslines for clothing of all different shapes, sizes, and colors. With some purple pants falling straight onto the ground, the card gives this Pokemon loads of personality as it causes accidental chaos in the city it floats around in. And now, for the Hydrapple EX from Stellar Crown. Something I appreciate about this artwork is just how far Teeziro strayed from their typical style. I mean, this card looks like it could have been from a totally different artist, but Teeziro nailed that sort of cave painting-esque style perfectly, and those triangles of different sizes and patterns merely add to the splendor of this mostly symmetrical card. Those nice scratches and splotches all over the card also add a nice, old-timey effect. This next card is awesome. We have the Orbeetle VMAX Trainer Gallery from Lost Origin. I love this card, for so many different reasons. The fact that the starry sky blends in with the VMAX colors on the top left, and the trainer that floats around as he raises above the ground. We also see the classic cow being abducted with a Miltank in the background. Orbeetle itself looks imposing as it sucks in many objects, as well as Bugsy and that Miltank, which float upwards. I really love how many unique items float up towards the infinite mass of Orbeetle, and this is one of my favorite Trainer Galleries cards from the set Lost Origin. Finally, we have the Celebi V alternate art from Fusion Strike. This card is magnificent. I love the spiraling yellow effects that are all around the card, coating the different trees and swooshing around everywhere. The Pokemon itself is perfectly cheeky, which is perfect for a mythical Pokemon. The large tree in the background is also just a nice spectacle and like a centerpiece for the card. Overall, this card is as gorgeous as an alternate artwork can be from the Sword and Shield era. And that was Teeziro. Their cards are magnificent, from super detailed crazy illustration / special illustration rare cards to the awesome regular and holo cards that they have. Teeziro is truly an influential artist who I always have time to appreciate. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by liking and commenting, as well as considering to subscribe to the channel. I cover everything you need to know about Pokemon artists. If you want to see more of these kinds of videos, I have a playlist on my channel for the Pokemon Artist Review. And with that, I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.